Yo, what's up, YouTube? Your boy, the Great Patriot here, DGP, back again with another episode of Patriot Keys. This is training camp time. We're almost there at the preseason. I know this video is late, but if you follow me on Twitter, you already know what's the deal. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, you guys have seen the title, see on the screen. Rob Ninkovich has the title. I'm going to go over a little bit of training camp too, but mainly we're going to talk about number 50. One of our defensive blue chip workers have retired. So Rob Ninkovich spent about 8 years with the New England Patriots. 11 years in the NFL total. This year it was kind of iffy because he had one more year left on his contract. We kind of thought he would play this year. Our mentor Rivers and Weiss, but that was not the case. He said that his body wasn't feeling right, and that's kind of why he's been missing from camp and everything. And then he decided to retire. So he wasn't going to get much playing time this year, as I think he's more so into a mentor role this year. I think that's what he was going to do, be that leadership guy, again, for Weiss and Rivers, and also Coney Ealy as well. So the Coney Ealy trade is going to prove a big dividend, also with Derek Rivers. So we'll see how that works. I think we'll see Ealy and Rivers more so in the Ninkovich role, them two kind of splitting time. And also when you have Hightower in there as the outside linebacker, that's one outside linebacker got to get we don't have to worry about. So yeah, man, Ninkovich, man, this guy was a good worker. He's probably the last of that Gerard Mayo, Ninkovich. Then we also had I would count Hightower in that as well. Hightower is pretty much the last linebacker from the late 2010 linebacking core that we kind of had for about 2 to 5 years. Because Jamie Collins, he's no longer with us. So that kind of group of guys that we've grown accustomed to, Hightower's the last remaining piece, and he just signed an extension. So he's there to lead us to the new era with linebackers, with the Rivers, with the Weiss, with the Ealy, with the Landon Roberts, stuff like that. So is Ninkovich going to Hall of Fame? We already know Pro Football Hall of Fame, he's not getting there. Patriot Hall of Fame, probably not, but it's something about that number 50 though that maybe that both of them might get retired. Mike Vrabel, Ninkovich both had similar paths in terms of they were underrated. Ninkovich came in and they said he was the 80th best player on the Patriot roster. This is before they had 96 players opening that you could start off with. So he wasn't supposed to be around the Patriot squad after a couple years in other places. He was supposed to be around the Patriot squad, but again, he just worked hard, grinded, and he had a couple key big, strip sack fumbles, key, fumbles. Like I said, he didn't pop off the stat sheet, but day in and day out, he was there. He did have that suspension last year, but for the most part of his New England career, day in and day out, you can always count on number 50 to be there. Especially, he came to the Patriots the same year I believe Mike Vrabel retired. So we've had about a decade of blue collar number 50 defensive end linebackers in a Patriot uniform, so we can't ask for much more. Now let's get into the training camp aspect of it. Brandon Cooks been looking good in training camp. We're seeing him do a lot of deep threat plays, so it looks like we found our deep threat that we haven't had since Randy Moss. And also Brandon Cooks, a good thing he can do is he can run them screen routes, and since he has the speed, he can take it to the house. But again, I think we'll use more over the top to take the top off the defense. And man, just seeing him, Brady work, that chemistry is going to get better as time goes on with him, Gronk, and Edelman. That offense is going to be deadly. And then we also see Gillislee, who I was looking forward to replace that LeGarrette Blount role. He's been looking pretty solid, but again, this is only training camp. But I see him as expected to be the guy who runs between the tackle and goal line situation. So that's pretty much it on training camp. We have about another week. August 7th and 8th, we have the joint practice with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then not January, August 10th, we have the preseason opener, which is next Thursday. Yeah, next Thursday. Next Thursday night, we have the preseason opener. I'll probably drop a video on where you to watch that because I'm not from the Boston, New England area, if you guys can't tell. So I'm not from the area, so I'll have to figure out how I'm going to watch it, even though I'm going to have a lot of stuff going on at that time, which I'll get into an update video probably around that time. So we'll see. But again, the Ninkovich situation, does this come as a surprise? Not really. We kind of knew that his retirement was coming up. He's 33 years old, I believe. His retirement was coming up. We just might have thought it was going to be at the end of the season. He finished out the contract. But he didn't. But it's all good. Rob Ninkovich, I'd like to say thank you for your services. Thank you for everything that you've done for Past Nation, for New England, day in and day out. And, we hope to see, you You know, maybe as a coach, as Mike Vrabel, but hopefully for the Patriots, not for the Texans. So I'm tired of rambling. Let me know your thoughts down below about the Ninkovich retiring. How did that affect us? I don't think it really does in terms of, unless you talk about leadership and just mentoring, but in terms of on the field play and like giving the young guys a chance, I don't feel like it hurts us bad. And also it helps us out because Ely, who's on a 1-year deal, it gives him more opportunities for him to prove himself to try to get re-signed with the Patriots if we are going to re-sign him. So we'll see on that. So I'm tired of rambling, like I said before. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff for the #1 source for your Patriot news. And then I got something other for the NFL fans. Once the regular season start, not the preseason, but once the regular season start, I probably again will have an update video for you guys in a little bit. So what I'm looking forward on the channel. So again, like, subscribe, comment, all that great stuff. And I'll catch you next time, y'all. Peace.
But forever gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.